Lerato, a determined 29-year-old receptionist, bright and ambitious, worked diligently in the bustling Midrand area. Her days were filled with answering phones, greeting clients, and managing the front desk of a modern office building. But beyond the daily routine, Lerato dreamed of independence, a life where she called the shots and enjoyed the fruits of her labor. She envisioned a future filled with possibilities, a future she was actively working towards. First on her list was her own car, a sleek hatchback that would whisk her away from the constraints of public transport. She imagined the freedom of the open road, the ability to go wherever she pleased, whenever she wanted, and further down the line, one day, a home with a garden, a place where she could relax, entertain friends, and cultivate her own little piece of paradise, a sanctuary to call her own. Each morning on the GO train, as she made her way to work, surrounded by a sea of faces, she imagined driving herself to work, the wind in her hair, the music blasting from the speakers, a sense of control and accomplishment washing over her, free from the crowded commute, the delays, and the discomfort. The thought of escaping the daily grind of public transport fueled her ambition. She saved diligently, meticulously putting away a portion of her salary each month, sacrificing small luxuries for the bigger picture. Every rand counted, believing she was on track, carefully managing her expenses and tracking her progress. She felt confident that her dreams were within reach. After months of research, poring over car reviews, comparing prices and weighing her options, she found the perfect hatchback. A stylish, fuel-efficient model that fit her budget and her personality. It was the car she had always wanted and confidently applied for vehicle finance, filling out the forms with a sense of excitement and anticipation. She was one step closer to her dream. But days later, as she anxiously checked her phone, waiting for news, her application was declined, a crushing blow to her carefully laid plans. The reason? A low credit score, a term she barely understood. Lerato was shocked, completely blindsided by this unexpected hurdle. She'd never realized her financial habits were being tracked so closely, that every transaction, every payment was contributing to this mysterious score. This rejection was a wake-up call, a harsh lesson in the importance of financial literacy. Suddenly, her dreams felt out of reach, the car and the house seeming like distant fantasies. But instead of giving up, wallowing in disappointment, Lerato resolved to understand credit scores, to demystify the world of finance and take control of her destiny, and take control of her financial future, armed with knowledge and determination. She realized this setback, this unexpected obstacle, was the start of a new journey, a journey towards financial empowerment and a brighter future. Her path to financial empowerment had just begun, and she was ready to face it head-on, with newfound knowledge and unwavering resolve. Lerato's first question. What is a credit score? She learned it's a 3-digit number, calculated by bureaus like TransUnion and Experian, summarizing how you handle debt. A high score means you're a low-risk borrower. A low score signals risk. Every payment, late fee, and credit application is tracked and factored in. In South Africa, scores range from 0 to 999. Above 767 is excellent, below 583 is below average. Lerato discovered her score was 540, explaining her loan rejection. She realized her financial actions had direct consequences, but she also learned scores can improve with better habits. For the first time, Lerato felt empowered to change her financial story. The mystery of the credit score was unraveling. Lerato was determined to understand the secrets behind her credit score. She knew it was more than just a number, it was a reflection of her financial habits and responsibility. As she delved deeper, Lerato discovered 5 key factors, often referred to as the 5 pillars of credit, that have a significant impact. These pillars shape your credit score, influencing everything from loan approvals to interest rates. Understanding these factors is the first step towards building and maintaining a healthy credit profile. It's about taking control of your financial future and making informed decisions. Payment history is the most important of these pillars. It carries the most weight, making up a substantial 35% of your overall credit score. This reflects how consistently you've paid your bills over time. Paying bills on time, every time, builds your score, demonstrating responsible financial behavior to lenders. Setting up automatic payments can be a great way to ensure you never miss a due date. Conversely, late payments hurt it, signaling potential risk to creditors. Even a single late payment can negatively impact your score, and the effects can linger for months or even years. Next is credit utilization, which refers to the amount of credit you're using compared to your total available credit. Using too much of your available credit, especially maxing out credit cards, signals risk to lenders, suggesting you may be overextended or struggling to manage your finances. Keep balances below 30% of your credit limit on each card to demonstrate responsible credit management. Ideally, aim for even lower utilization rates for optimal scoring. The length of your credit history matters, providing lenders with a track record of your borrowing behavior over time. Older, well-managed accounts help, showcasing your ability to handle credit responsibly over the long haul. The longer your credit history, the more data lenders have to assess your credit worthiness. Types of credit count too, as lenders want to see that you can manage different kinds of debt. Lenders like to see you can handle both revolving credit, like credit cards, and installment credit, like car loans or mortgages. A mix of credit accounts demonstrates a well-rounded financial profile. Finally, new credit applications can impact your score. Too many in a short time can lower your score, as each application triggers a hard inquiry, which can slightly ding your credit. Be mindful of how often you apply for new credit. Lerato realized she could improve her score by understanding and addressing these key factors. By focusing on these pillars, she could take control of her credit and build a brighter financial future. She needed to pay on time, consistently and without fail, reduce debt, especially high-interest credit card debt, avoid unnecessary new credit applications that could negatively impact her score, and keep her oldest account open, even if she wasn't using it regularly, to maintain a longer credit history. With this knowledge, she was ready to make a plan, a roadmap to improve her credit worthiness and achieve her financial goals. The path forward was clear, and Lerato felt empowered to take control of her credit and build a secure financial future. Lerato realized her credit score was more than a number, it was her financial passport. It determined not just loan approvals, but also interest rates, insurance premiums, and even rental applications. A good score could save her thousands in interest and open doors to better opportunities. Even cell phone contracts and some jobs depended on a solid credit profile. Landlords and employers saw it as a sign of reliability. Lerato understood her score was part of her personal brand. She was determined to make it a strong one. Her financial reputation would shape her future. The stakes were higher than she'd ever imagined. Lerato pulled her credit report and saw the truth in black and white. Missed payments, high credit card balances, and multiple store card applications had all added up. Each small misstep painted her as a risky borrower. The result, loan rejections and higher interest rates. Her dream car and future home felt out of reach. But Lerato saw her low score as a diagnosis, not a life sentence. She realized financial freedom was about discipline, not just income. Now she was ready to take responsibility and make a change. The first step: stop making excuses and start making a plan. Lerato knew she needed a change. She understood that her credit score wasn't just a number, it was a gateway to opportunities, a reflection of her financial responsibility. So she decided to take control. Lerato mapped out a plan, a comprehensive strategy designed to tackle her debt and rebuild her credit from the ground up. It wasn't going to be easy, but she was determined to succeed. This plan was her lifeline, a step-by-step guide to navigate the complex world of credit and finance. She researched, consulted with experts, and gathered all the necessary information to rebuild her credit. To stay organized and on track, she set up debit orders for all her recurring bills. This ensured that payments were made automatically, eliminating the risk of late fees and negative marks on her credit report. And to double ensure nothing slipped through the cracks, she also programmed calendar reminders. These reminders acted as a safety net, a constant nudge to ensure every bill was paid on time, every single time. Consistency was key, and Lerato was committed to building a solid payment history. Next, she took a hard look at her spending habits. She meticulously tracked every expense, identifying areas where she could cut back. She slashed her spending on non-essential items, making sacrifices to free up more money for debt repayment. With a leaner budget in place, she focused on paying down her credit card balances. She knew that high credit card debt was a major drag on her credit score, so she prioritized paying off the cards with the highest interest rates first. Her goal was to get her credit utilization, the amount of credit she was using compared to her total available credit, below 30% of its limit. This was a crucial step in improving her credit score. Recognizing that opening new credit accounts could potentially lower her average account age and increase her overall credit risk, she made a firm decision. No more new credit applications. To further protect herself from potential fraud and identity theft, she took a proactive step. She put herself on a credit freeze for a year, preventing anyone from opening new accounts in her name without her explicit consent. Understanding the importance of credit history, she kept her oldest account open even if she wasn't actively using it. This demonstrated a long-standing track record of responsible credit management. To keep the account active and in good standing, she used it occasionally for small purchases like a cup of coffee or a tank of gas, and then paid it off immediately, avoiding any interest charges. Lerato understood the importance of monitoring her credit report for any inaccuracies or signs of fraud. So, she scheduled annual credit report checks with all 3 major credit bureaus. These regular checks allowed her to monitor her progress, track her credit score, and identify any areas that needed improvement. She meticulously reviewed each report, looking for any errors such as incorrect account information or unauthorized transactions, and catch errors. Each on-time payment she made was a victory, a testament to her commitment and discipline. Each dollar she paid off and each reduced balance was a step forward on her journey to financial freedom. She channeled her anxiety and fear into positive action, transforming her financial worries into a proactive plan. She was building a new financial future for herself, brick by brick, one smart decision at a time. Through her dedication and hard work, Lerato became the CEO, the ultimate decision-maker of her financial life, taking control of her destiny and shaping her own success story. Her roadmap to financial recovery was simple yet incredibly effective but powerful, demonstrating the transformative power of knowledge, discipline, and perseverance. The foundation for her future financial security, her dreams, and her aspirations was being rebuilt stronger and more resilient than ever before. Lerato's journey offers a blueprint for anyone wanting better credit. Pay every bill on time, set up debit orders and reminders. Keep credit card balances low, aiming for under 30% of your limit. Create a budget and pay down high-interest debt first. Only apply for new credit when necessary. Avoid opening accounts for discounts. When shopping for big loans, do all applications within a short window to minimize score impact. Keep your oldest accounts open and in good standing. Check your credit report annually for errors or fraud. Dispute any mistakes immediately. If overwhelmed, seek help from a registered debt counselor. These habits protect and build your financial reputation. Lerato learned credit bureaus like TransUnion and Experian collect and store your financial data. They compile credit reports and calculate your score, which lenders use to assess you. The National Credit Act gives you the right to 1 free credit report per year from each bureau. Checking your own report is a soft inquiry. It won't hurt your score. If you find errors, you have the right to dispute them, and the bureau must investigate. Accurate information is your right and your responsibility. Lerato realized staying informed was key to protecting her financial reputation. The system wasn't mysterious, it was manageable. Knowledge was her new power. A year later, Lerato checked her score up from 540 to 685. Her discipline paid off on-time payments, lower debt, and no new credit applications. This time, her car loan was approved quickly with a lower interest rate. She saved thousands and finally drove home in her own car. Lerato's habits became second nature and her score kept improving. When she was ready to buy a home, she'd be a strong applicant. Good credit gave her options and control. Lerato's story proves your credit score is a tool, not a barrier. With knowledge and discipline, you can shape your financial destiny. Good credit opens doors to your biggest dreams.